Hey, it's the Mighty Z of Capital Chaos TV. We're hanging out here with Mikey from Islander. Is that right?
That's right.
Mikey, how's it going, man?
Going well, man. We're just wrapping up this tour pretty much. It's kind of coming to a close, so looking forward to going home, seeing my wife, and but I'm looking forward to these last shows just as much as the other ones. So love being out here with our fans. Been killing it every night. They've been bringing the heat. It's been awesome.
It's a pretty even lineup on this tour, right? As far as the Papa Roach, Cedar, King, and Islander, sort of on the same wavelength of hard rock, heavy metal to a degree.
It's different. It's different varieties of it. It's kind of like you have Thai food, Japanese food, you got Chinese food, but at the end of the day, a lot of times people are like, I want to eat something with a chopstick. So if you want to come out to a rock and roll show and hear something loud, that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get something loud, like that siren right now. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but that's something loud. So,
are you guys? Is Islander spicier or sweeter than the rest?
Speaking of food, maybe it's kind of like a lime mixed with some spice, I guess. I don't know. I like to spice it up.
Do you eat
sweet too?
Do you eat much sriracha?
Not on tour. Vocals.
Does it kill the chords?
Yeah, I have acid reflux and no spicy food while I'm on tour.
Okay, that's really good. Now you're originally from the band is originally from Greenville, is that correct?
Correct. Greenville, South Carolina.
And from what I understand, there's a pretty large Cherokee population there. Is that correct?
There is, and anybody you talk to almost. It's so funny, actually. I'll just use this analogy. A lot of people that I know, they want to have some type of ethnicity. They always say, so like, I'm like a third Cherokee or something like that or whatever. They just pick, like, they're like, I'm a half Cherokee, or like, not even a half. They just pick something, but like everybody there thinks they have it in their blood, so they just kind of run with it, which is cool.
But if you can prove to somebody that you have some Cherokee in you, you get a cut from the casino royalties or whatever. Are you familiar with that angle as part of being an American Indian?
I'm not. I'm not. I've heard you can go to school for free if you can prove you're an American Indian.
Right. I think school is one benefit, of course. Obviously, schooling period is a benefit, but I think there's some other health care or whatnot or something like that.
I have no clue.
Okay. All right. No worries.
I'm half Dominican, half white boy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. Now, I recently read that oral sex is illegal in Greenville, South Carolina. So is selling musical instruments on Sunday. Is these laws something that you're familiar with?
I heard about those when I was in middle school, actually. I remember that came up in our social studies class, and that was something that like a lot of the middle schoolers were, giggling about because we were 13 years old and we heard that and we were all like laughing. So
it's probably, from what I understand, it's still on the books. It's a Bible Belt state for the most part.
It is. It's the Bible Belt. That's the South Carolina, that kind of area. You meet a lot of people who, they think that they're Christians from birth or something like that, and yet they have no fruit and they don't walk with the Lord. But a lot of them do. A lot of them do. Just like anywhere, there's people that follow something true, and there's people that claim to believe something true and don't follow the truth. So
it's like a lot of people are just traditional, based on what their mama and their daddy was, but maybe not so much in way of faith, right?
Right. What they say a lot of times in South Carolina when people say that they're Christians, what they mean is that they're white.
I see, right. Okay. And how did you end up being a singer?
I ended up
opposed to a drummer or a guitar player.
I couldn't play anything that well. I can't even sing that well, but I had enough charisma from watching professional wrestling that I knew that I could get on a stage and at least make people cheer.
Are you still a big fan of, was it WWE or WWF or?
It's all under pretty much one umbrella now as far as like the mainstream. It's WWE, which I am a big fan of. I'm a very huge Sting fan.
Okay.
He's one of my inspirations in life as far as growing up. And I actually got to meet him this past week.
Oh, so, is that right?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh, that's cool. I haven't really gotten a chance to meet too many wrestlers. I know that a few years ago I got to meet a couple of the guys from the Misfits, and they were involved in professional wrestling at some point as well.
They were.
Oh, are you familiar with their career in wrestling?
Somewhat. I remember some of that. I also remember when Kiss tried to get involved with wrestling.
With actual getting in the, because the Misfits were actually fighting in the rings, where Kiss were probably selling T-shirts. No.
Kiss, they pretended to play an episode of Monday Night Nitro when WCW was still around, and they had a wrestler by the name of, I think it was Demon, and he was just wore their like Kiss face paint, and just kind of like, I guess they were trying to bank on him being a Kiss person.
Absolutely. Now,
Gene Simmons never got in the ring, as far as I know.
no, I don't think so. That would probably interrupt his hairpiece or whatnot. You know, because there's a lot of full contact in
I think
wrestling,
that you can get away. I think a lot of wrestlers have had hair pieces and they've gotten away with it. So
You are right, much better than herpes.
I should say so.
Yes, before I had herpes on my head.
You had herpes on your head?
Yes, of course. Where else would you have it? On your dick?
You're touring with Papa Roach. I know Jacoby Shaddix, Jacoby of Papa Roach, recently became a Christian. Have you gotten a chance to bond with him or share some, I don't know, preachings, teachings, and whatnot at all on this tour?
we get together and we read the crazy book sometimes. That's what we call it, the scriptures.
Okay.
Because there's two reasons people that read it, everybody thinks we're crazy. And the other reason is everything in the book is very crazy, but it's all true. So lately we've just been joking around and being like, hey, you want to go read the crazy book? So yes, we have read the crazy book quite a few times.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. Now, Islander is not named, you guys are not named after a Nightwish song, is that correct?
That is correct.
What is the basis of that name?
Our former guitar player, he saw like a beer koozie or a coaster or something lying next to him one night when he was playing guitar, and he picked the name as far as like saying, hey, should we just name the band Islander? Because we wanted it to be a one-word band name so people didn't abbreviate it. So we were just like, you know what, we're going to hate every single name that exists in rock and roll or in anything. So we were just like, let's just call the band Islander. We didn't want to think too hard about it. It doesn't mean anything.
Cool. Your album's been out since what? July the 4th? July the 14th? Oh, the 8th it came out. So it's still pretty fresh. So are you going to do the traditional 2-year cycle, or do you have plans for putting out another album prior to the 2-year cycle?
I believe that given the nature of social media and things like that, and the way that people have been affected by that over the past several years, we live in a society full of people that want life to kind of follow as quickly as tweets or Facebook statuses. So we're already kind of going ahead and planning to release something else, hopefully sometime soon or sooner than later, because we're creating all the time and wanting to be creative. So yeah, I mean, I've already got the next album named, and
What's it going to be called?
I'm not telling that. We're still promoting violence and destruction.
I understand, but we want juice. What would be your favorite Solid State or Tooth and Nail bands?
Joy Electric, MXPX, Sal Paradise, Starflyer 59, Joe Christmas, Living Sacrifice, The Chariot, the original Norma Jean, Ludacris, which is the original Norma Jean. No, dude.
Practically the entire
90s catalog.
Right. Cool. Excellent. And then one final question: do you have any closing words to anybody that might be watching this? Any positive statements that you'd like to get across?
Do your homework. Do all the things Hulk Hogan used to say to do in the 80s, and don't stand on the street corner and yell at people.
Chaos. Chaos. Capital Chaos. Capital Chaos TV. Motherfucker.